Y'all, not gonna lie, I'm already in the pits of this growth period. I mean, just, woo, already in it. So, last night's healing was on, well, you're probably gonna see this, on Tuesday. So 2 nights ago's healing was on the energy of celebration and really filling in the bodies with celebration where they had been punished. So if you're a part of my Patreon, we just did a healing on where you had been punished for wanting things. And unfortunately, I wanted to just make it all about celebration. But the thing is that I saw that you guys had gotten severely, severely, severely punished for actually getting those things that you want. And so don't worry, I did focus a lot of the healing basically on me going back to these memories of you, where you had initially experienced that punishment and really filling you in with what you needed. But I saw that what was really, really needed too was to get a lot of that punishment energy for you actually receiving what you want out. So if you're new here, hello, hi, welcome. My name is Courtney. I have been an energy healer for the last 4 years. It's my total complete passion. I go to the Boulder Psychic Institute. I've been training there for the last 4.5 years. I do an energy healing work technique. Sorry, words. I'm trying to talk. I'm getting just absolutely annihilated with energy right now. So I'm just being totally honest. This isn't perfect. Oh, I'm sorry, but I've been learning how to do this advanced healing technique the last 2 years. It's out of body healing. So I basically run an energy called white, which is a very high vibration through all 7 of my chakras that are in my body. I lift my consciousness up and out of my body with this vibration. And on that level, I give you a soul to soul level healing. I am also kind of clicking on that vibration of white for every single one of you guys that starts the healing. And sometimes what can happen is the souls actually begin to kind of lift out of their bodies. Well, your astral body does, but sometimes your physical body can feel it and you can feel woozy. So that is why I have everybody, sorry, my cat is just, can you not? So that is why I asked everybody to do this later in the evening and actually kind of hope people are asleep. Hey, you're gonna go out here, okay, Orlina? She's in crazies mode. All right, so so basically that is what I do, and I bring you all up to a classroom and I heal basically a mannequin that represents the collective energies of everybody in the room, and I kind of go and I start to see themes, okay? So those themes can show up as different colors because that's how we're doing energy work, is we're looking at different colors and vibration and frequency. And if these colors are opaque, I can't see through them. That means they are not yours. If they are see-through, that means they are yours. They are your truth. So I go into this mannequin and I basically clear out any opaque energies that the entire group kind of has. So it's like this entire group has punishment energy in the 4th chakra or in the 3rd chakra. Like I'll be clearing the energy out. So that's basically how it all works in a very short amount of time. And so basically what I was seeing was that, for the celebration energy to really, really, really come in, you guys had punishment energy that wasn't just from your parents. Okay, so when I got up there, because I knew it was gonna be big, I started like 15 minutes early. I actually saw a lot of energy from past lives. And so that's the beautiful thing about soul to soul level healing, is that when you're in that astral body, when you're on the astral plane, you have all the information of every single past life you ever lived up there. And it's a little bit easier for me to just kind of poke and go like past life deep. Let me make a sex joke. It's kind of like, it's just like the body can just kind of be just the tip, but this is like going in like balls deep. So basically, I basically went in balls deep when I came into the healings that I was doing with you guys. I was healing like generational trauma and also past life trauma around, mostly past life though, around just punishment for being who you are. That's what it really came down to. It was, if you're able to get what it is that you want, In order to get what it is that you want, you have to be a lot more embodied. You have to have your energy in your body, because you have to actually be a vibrational match to what it is that you want. And so, you know, who you are is somebody who is super incredibly powerful, and somebody who can just manifest things like that. That is your divine birthright. That is your divine power, is to be able to come down onto this plane and manifest your heaven on earth, if you will. Obviously, not everything will be perfect, but you can get a lot of the things that you desire. That's one of the best parts about manifesting and healing and having one of these awesome little bodies. You get to play with that. So basically, I was just going through all of these past lives where you just really couldn't own your power. You really couldn't own this power, where perhaps even owning this power was, you know, playing God, and that was really looked down upon. A lot of this energy was actually incredibly religious, like religious punishment. So I was just really, really clearing that religious energy up and out of these astral bodies and kind of just past life deep. And because religion, you know, religious punishment, no matter what religion it is, it's kind of, it has a similar taste, it has a similar vibe, right? And so, you know, it's kind of like almost like the same language, but different fonts. You know, a lot of, you know, these religions that, you know, talk about divine punishment are very similar. So I was just really clearing out a lot of these lifetimes where we had all been, you know, basically subjected to religious punishment for really owning our power. My phone stopped me. Forward Energy likes to mess with my fucking stuff, especially electronics. If you ever get a session with me, it'll probably happen, honestly. But yeah, so where we had been punished for really owning our divine power, which really essentially is just becoming more embodied. So I was really just going through and just digging balls deep out all of this punishment and just gurking it out. And then after that, after I was doing a bunch of that digging, I was really filling you in with a lot of celebration. And just the opposite of that was, on some level, the absolute truth that God loves you, you know, that you are going to be divinely supported, and that God actually wants to see you win. You shouldn't be punished for getting what you desire. So basically the reason why I went back to religious punishment was because I had my spiritual teacher shared her opinion that she believes that basically all of our programming beyond childhood, beyond parents, a lot of it actually, even that sort of programming stems from religious dogma and religious programming itself. And so I was really looking at a lot of this religious programming because that's where a lot of these core values are, that you're going to be punished if you do this, you're going to be punished if you have sex, you're going to be punished if you manifest this or that, or, you know, especially like play God. That's really like looked down upon, and just having that control over your life. And, you know, basically I was really, really clearing a lot of that out so that this way you could really own the divine truth that, no, God just wants you to, what if God just is chill and just wants you to really, really own and love yourself and have everything that you desire. And once I was filling that all in the past lives, then I started to actually, it's like the Jenga. You know, if I go all the way to the bottom and I pull out this, the entire tower falls. So I was trying to go all the way to the back and make the entire tower fall so that you guys could fill in with what you actually want and not just keep digging and digging. I was going to the root. So, yeah, I was just filling in with celebration. So in the past lives where it's like, God loves you, you're loved, you don't deserve to be punished for owning your power as a beautiful sovereign being. You don't deserve to be punished for that. And then in this life, you know, where you had actually been in these past lives too, where you had been punished, you know, by people and parents, and people and parents as if they're separate. Parents, friends, your ex-boyfriend, for having a lot. That was just kind of all beginning to like fill in you just really started to come into your body in a whole different way. And it was really beautiful to witness. This growth period, this is gonna be a growth period. If you're new here, what a growth period is essentially like a spiritual detoxing. So sometimes the energy that you're releasing can get louder as it begins to go away, or you can kind of go through similar things that's like triggered this energy to come in the first place. So you might experience people around you getting mad at you for getting what you want and them not being able to have what they want. You might re-experience that punishment. I sure as hell am. Oh my God. So much is coming at me from my dad, like my stepmom and all these people. So, you might re-experience these things as punishment, as this begins to release out. And you might even begin to handle these conversations that you have with people, or this energy, a bit differently. It might not begin to affect you as much. It's not going to come into your space as much. Like, if somebody's talking shit about you and punishing you, or just being like, screw you, I don't like you. Maybe before you really took that to heart and you really brought that into your energetic space and you thought, something's wrong with me, I'm never going to be loved. And now you're going to experience like, maybe a more neutral reaction to this person, and maybe a completely different mindset. So if this person's punishing you, you might not just like, wow, I don't want to be that person's friend anymore. There are people who will care about me, but it's not gonna be like this like dramatic thing. It looks like it'll just fall away if it's supposed to. I really see you attracting more people into your life that are going to be celebrating your wins. And you're also going to be feeling like you have God on your side. It was really beautiful, actually. Like this morning, I woke up just so wonky because so much energy had been thrown at me. And it was crazy. Like the first time, I was just like, hey, God, can you come here? And I literally just felt this beautiful, just divine golden glow just come around me and just embrace me. And I just started to see all this foreign energy just come off of me. So you might actually, on a very deep level, if this is what you want, get a more beautiful relationship with God and actually be able to talk to God and have that power. Because, in lifetimes you had been punished. I know I grew up very Catholic. So, I'm speaking from that space. But, in Catholicism, the Pope only has the connection to God. There's a hierarchy there. And really, in actuality, there is no hierarchy. And maybe you've gotten punished for really contacting and being around God in a different life. So, you might really celebrate that relationship with God, especially in the Catholic religion, women are not allowed to have that relationship with God. So if you're a person with a uterus, if you're a person that identifies as a woman, you might actually develop that relationship with God and watch it become a lot more deep, and not feel as alone. And also, watching you really come more into your body, man, woman, whatever you identify as, non-binary, any gender, any sort of thing, you might actually begin to come into your body more and just really feel a bit more grounded. These healings do take time though, okay? So when I first started to get transmedium healings at the Boulder Psychic Institute, the growth period wouldn't hit me usually. I'd get them on like Friday, and then I wouldn't feel anything, I'm like, oh my God, the healing. And then Wednesday, I'd be like hit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'd be like in the growth period. And that's not necessarily what's going to happen with you. This growth period might be easy for you, but I'm going to be totally honest and say this one is, I really went like back. Okay? So this one might be kind of one that comes out. You might feel it. I'm sorry if you're a newbie. Oh God. Yeah, but you guys are ready. It's okay. You manifested this. You got this. You're so strong. You're fine. But yeah, so I basically, it might take some time for you to actually begin to feel this. I felt it immediately this morning. Like that night. It's like slap. But yeah, so those are some of the things that you might feel. The good things that are happening though, as I said, like, a beautiful, more in touch relationship with God. And obviously, like attracting people that celebrate you and you feeling like you're worthy and that you're going to be celebrated and loved for getting what you want. that you're going to be loved for it. And, you know, as this energy begins to dissipate, for some of you guys, okay, because I went back really far with past lives and stuff like that. If you have a full-time job, I set these healings up. So I talk to you guys. This is why I heal a mannequin. I don't just directly go into your little astral bodies, because you're basically taking that healing from the mannequin, from the astral sort of mannequin that I'm healing, and you're in the agreement to take on as much as you're ready for. So for some people that don't have full-time jobs, like me, this is my job, okay, to just, you know, cry all day and go through trauma and, you know, heal people. I can get slapped, you know, I can get fucking walloped. Ooh, that was aggressive. Basically, this is something that could happen if you're somebody who has children, if you're somebody who has a corporate job. I used to have an internship. I could not just start crying about, you know, past life where I, you know, was murdered in the middle of a board meeting or something like that. You can't just have that happen to you. So just please know that the timing with this healing, it may be more spread out for you if you're somebody who actually has like shit to do, okay? If you don't, you might be slapped more. Please don't compare yourself to other people. If you're starting to feel these things come up, please don't invalidate your healing. It means the healing is working, okay? So please don't be like, oh no, like I'm so fucked up, like the healing didn't work. No, it's working for you. If you don't feel anything, that's okay too, okay? So everything is valid. But yeah, so obviously you're probably gonna be manifesting more from this space. But be aware that, you know, it might be drawn out for some, and it might be very short, like and aggressive, this growth period for others. Beautiful. If you are somebody who really liked this healing, I do want to plug myself real quick. I am having a 2-month-long relationships Patreon thing, okay? So 2-month long, where I'm going back and basically resetting the blueprint of love. Okay, so to give you kind of an example of what a blueprint is, when you're from conception to about 3 years old, you get 80% of your programming. Okay, so you can be imprinted with a lot of these kind of blueprints of what love is during that time. So to give you an example, my parents got divorced before I was 1. Okay, and interestingly enough, I just realized this, wow, I have not been in a relationship that has lasted more than a year, and it's been on and off and very dramatic. And so that's a blueprint that I have that's stored into my body that, oh, what love is it not lasting a year and it's this really aggressive thing and then fighting for like 7 years. Okay, so, you know, I realized, oh, that's a blueprint that I have. That is a kind of that my body has. Even though my mind is like, this is not love, my body is like, oh, you know, and it manifests from these blueprints. So I'm going to be going in and really resetting a lot of these blueprints over the next 2 months around abandonment, around cheating, around, you know, parental relationships, around just a lot of different things. I'm really excited about this month around creating relationships, around maintaining relationships, around ending relationships, just a bunch of stuff. And on Sunday, so that's always on the Thursdays, that I'll be all about relationships. So it's like 8 healings about relationship. And then on Sundays, you guys tell me what you want a healing on. So you get to really have a say in that too. And I would really love if you wanted to be a part of that community. We're all up-leveling together. We are almost 300 strong on the Patreon this month. And then on the Spiritual Badasses Facebook page, we almost have around 400 people. So you get to share about your growth. We all get to talk. We all are learning from each other. It's a really beautiful space. And I'm just so honored to be a part of it. So I'd love to have you there. Please don't join the Patreon until February 1st if you want to be a part of that. And I'll be posting about that more. Cool. All right, guys, I will see you lovelies on the astral. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night, whatever it is. Yeah.